Okay, Jack, so we look at the left hand one. The left hand was basically your before, okay? Hands were a little bit low, but generally said it wasn't too bad. Grip pressure, we did say, was very, very tight.
Yeah.
You sort of sensed that over time that you were gripping off into your life, okay? Because of that, they're now using the golf club back. You couldn't really get your right elbow to bend, so your right arm's quite straight here, and the club's very much what we call behind you, kind of very low down here. We'd expect your left arm to be kind of up here somewhere, and as you can see, your left arm is very much sort of across your chest there, very low down by your right hip there. So because of this angle now you're creating, coming back to the golf ball now, your club goes over the top of the golf ball and we miss it and sort of just flick through and lose a bit of control. So the club was just swinging on too flat an angle going back. Now then, we're going to run through this sort of setup on the round. So you start off, feet together, we've got this club now, sort of diagonal 45-degree line, just so you get your left hand on the golf club better. Sort of your left hand sort of hangs in this way anyway. You just basically slide the club into position, and then you bring your hand round to the golf club this way. So as you've got there now, you bring the golf club behind the golf ball. You put your right hand on the club now, the right being below your left. The right shoulder now is going to be below your left. And then once you've got yourself comfortable, you stand a bit closer to the ball now. There you go. You bring your feet in to start the case. So generally it's set up here now, we're a lot better. The arms are hanging down nicely, we've got a nice loose grip pressure. And in terms of the swing thought now, you can implement this in your practice. Every single shot you do a backswing up there, which is very, very good. I mean, compare that to that one. I mean, there's kind of your left shoulder and left arm.
That's still not high enough.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. That's good. Your left arm will be across your shoulders there. That's fine. And I think in some ways, if we try to go more to, and you don't need to go any more anyway, but if you try to go more than that, you would just be like, this probably feels quite extreme anyway, I'd imagine. So as you come back down the golf ball, we're controlling that backswing. We control the golf club back to the golf ball, okay? And then once you've sort of got that feeling of the backswing, you feel nice and relaxed, maybe just a grip pressure loosener. You go back again, there's your backswing in real life, and as you come back to the golf ball now, good strike of the ball, hit the screen there, and we turn through. Now there's some movements obviously we'll adjust going forward, obviously how this foot needs to move, how the hips need to move, but for the moment, as I said, just work on that backswing, get the ground seeming closer to you, yeah? And the feeling when you had the first sort of dozen or so swings, should we say, there was a few top shots, missing the golf ball, and then a lot of dipping and trying to get underneath the golf ball kind of thing. And then when you did the ground was somewhere back here. It was just a bounce of the golf ball, and we missed it anyway. Okay, so you were making it very hard from that position. Okay, so if we can go through this sequence every single time, even more so if we do hit a bad shot on the range, which will happen. You're on the range, if it's some balls there with your brother or your friends or whatever, there'll be a couple of times where you get 3 or 4 shots. Oh my God, have I even gone back to square one again? And it will feel that way sometimes, but that's golf, unfortunately. It's then obviously a priority. Okay, right, let's take a little bit more time on this next shot, give myself an extra 5-10 seconds, readjust myself, get myself set up correctly, go through this sort of sequence. If needs be, this video I'm going to record now, I'll send to you, so re-watch this again. So if you had 3 or 4 back, I'm like, what am I doing wrong now? Because sometimes your brain gets scrambled. Even the simplest things you're trying to comprehend just don't even work. I mean, I get people coming for lessons and you say, okay, right, get this, and then having a real torrid time, and you go, right, okay, put your left shoulder higher than your right. They're like, oh, where's my left shoulder? They lose all concept of like just the simplest little thing because your brain's in this sort of scrambled mode kind of thing. So go through that setup. Once you're comfortable there, up to the top, back down. You can just practice this at home, just this movement here, up and down. Almost let the club just fall back to the ground there nicely, up and down. Just get the feeling of the left arm going up, getting a much more higher backswing as you go back. And then from there now, get set to the golf ball. Once you're here now, I mean, the thing else with the swing is you had a feeling or a thought which has been created with the practice swing, but your club's going back at like 14.2 on the clock face, on the clock down there. Top of the backswing at 15.10. You're in the golf ball at 15.5. So what really can you think about in that? Well, less than 2 seconds, isn't it? It's not a lot of time to think about. So just a feeling of the arms going up or a more steeper swing will give you kind of that feeling you want to try and create. Okay. Once that becomes kind of ingrained, embedded in your head, then we can then say, right, okay, that's kind of what you're doing now. We'll now shift that focus to something different and then look at maybe the through swing, the down swing, into the follow through, and get that slightly tweaked and stuff.
Okay.
Okay, make sense?
Yes.